Hello everyone, it's Tonya with ScribblesInTime. I'm going to do a flip through of my latest journal and my videos. I have several videos that are going to be getting posted out of order. For anyone who's ever watched my videos, I've mentioned before that my son is my computer wizard, and he normally posts my videos for me, and he does. I normally don't really even have editing. I just kind of say what I say and mess up, and all my little goof ups are in the videos. But there have been a time or two where my little dog has barked or something, and he'll edit that out, and then he does the little fade in at the beginning and end. And I'm not going to know how to do any of that, but I'm going to have to start doing my own videos with this whole thing of sheltering in place. It's been kind of a challenge of my son getting my videos posted for me. So anyway, I'm filming this video today, and I think this is the video I'm going to work on getting posted as quickly as possible. But anyway, so I've mentioned in some of my other videos that have not yet posted that my daughter got her first house. She bought her first house, and so I have been working for a few months on getting her old bedroom turned into my official journaling craft room, and that has been a challenge. But one thing I have done throughout that process is, as I went through and found things that I forgot I had, I don't know if y'all do that, but I was not very organized in my previous method because I didn't have an official craft room. So I was putting things in different places and not remembering where something was. So then I would reach for something else and that kind of thing. So I was able to actually organize my supplies. And as I did so, I was pulling out things that I felt like were light themed so that I could try to do, like, you know, farmhousey stuff. I was trying to put all that together, and I want to eventually do some type of a sea journal, like ocean or either old ships or some type of journal along those lines. So I was putting all of that stuff together. I want to eventually do a circus journal. There's just different themes that I am wanting to work on. And so I've known that over the past year. So I have been, you know, accumulating items in those themes, and then I haven't been able to find them. So thankfully I have been putting all that together. Well, this book here, I'm sorry, my hands are stained up. I broke every nail I had. They look horrible. But anyway, this book here was just kind of I had put everything that, you know, just things that made me happy, things I love, things that are my style. I kind of was putting together. So there's not really an overall, this is just very eclectic. It's just a random, I call it an art journal. It's kind of a random journal though, with just different themes in it. I guess you would say I've layered it. I love layering. And basically the outside of the journal, as you can see, is very layered. I'll try to go over, like, here's a separate book here on the inside of the cover. And so there's a layer here with a book, some little embellishments, another book cover. Here's another book cover. Here's some cardboard, some cardstock. Here's a wooden frame and wheat. And this actually, it is, I love this. I had a very hard time letting go of this pen. This pen, I won't get into the whole story, but I had a hard time letting go of this pen. I love this pen. Anyway, so the wheat, which I love wheat. I don't know if y'all remember in my tree journal that I did several videos ago. I painted a picture of wheat. I love wheat. Anyway, I like the look of it. Anyway, I guess it's fields of wheat that I like. There's lace here at the bottom. And then you can see the different fabrics kind of sticking out of the book. On the side, I have done different layers of spines, book spines, like that's, you know, old book spines, with some muslin, stained muslin going across to give it the look of it holding it together. You can see that there's all kind of paper and material poking out there. and also on the top. You cannot see the stitching of the signatures. It's hidden. And then on the back, it's just that real, again, I did some of the muslin coming across. I did a little bit of that tape measure embellishment coming down the side. And then there's the back. From the top, it looks like this. The side. And the bottom. Did I leave anything out? A little bit of paper up here. Of course, there's gesso on the book throughout. I think I've mentioned everything. Just a lot of layering. Anywho, so when you open the book, I did it where I tried to do all of the journaling space here in this little section for actual journaling. And here's a different book cover here on the back side of this. And then, of course, this book cover here, it says The Outdoor Chimes in the Big Woods. Oh, sorry, I'm not centered. I'm bad about that. And it's like a canvas book, as well as the one back here on the back. I guess you would call that canvas. Y'all know I'm horrible with knowing materials. I just love texture. And anyway, so in here, and then there's kind of a piece together spine there. Of course, I was going for the whole grungy thing. But inside of this book, it's like one signature. And I tried not to count these kind of pages because you can't really write on those. So you're looking at somewhere around, I think it was like 22 actual, maybe 24 pages that you can write on. I'll flip through so that you can kind of see. They're all just kind of grungy and coffee dyed. Little note page. This is, of course, an authentic old photograph with a rusty paper clip. That one came from my friend Kathy over at Rust Paper Scissors. Y'all know I always try to put some kind of tidbit from her in my books. And I put one of these bags, I guess it's a glassine bag, and a layaway ticket, and I used a little bit of the ticking fabric and done a little fabric sticking up there because I like the way it looks sticking out of the book. A little piece of really pretty cotton material down here. This I did where you can fold it down to write, and I just stuck an old book page in here. This is out of a really old book. I don't remember the date. But anyway, I did this where it folds down so that a person can write on that and have more writing space. This is an old letter from June 5th, 1961, tucked in there. I have a few of these, and all of them seem to be very kind of business-oriented. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, I might end up switching this one out for just another random one because that's my daughter's birthday, June 5th. Obviously not the year of her birth, but June 5th. And I do try to hold on to things that have our actual birthdays on them like that, and I put them all in a book together. So I'm probably going to swap that out for just another typed letter. You know, nothing, it would be very similar, obviously. They're all very similar. This is a glassine bag with an old postcard in it from 1907. Isn't that pretty? Love that. I can't read what that says on the bottom because I don't have my reading glasses on. What does that say? 18th Street Entrance, City Park, Colorado. And the back is written on. That was really cool. Anyway, that goes down in there. This is an old dictionary page. Just kind of thrown in there. I love the look of just pages being tucked in like this. And I think sometimes we get caught up in being, or I shouldn't say we get caught up. I think that there's just different styles. I think a unified style is to have things, you know, in pockets and clipped on and properly placed, but I personally like the look of something just being kind of haphazardly thrown in. And in my books at my house, I'm constantly coming across things like this letter that has my daughter's birthday on it, and I'll just tuck them into a journal. And I like that. I don't like a very uniform, I do like a uniform book, but it's not my style. It's not what I typically do. So I tend to just tuck things in, and I like that for myself, and hopefully other people like it too. The first page is layered with different materials. Again, a texture thing, and this is an old handkerchief. Let me see if I can zoom in. It has the embroidered, to me that almost looks like a dandelion. I'm not sure. I don't know my flowers. I'm as bad with flowers and plants as I am with material. There's a button I've sewn on there, and then I've a little hand stitched with some twine. And then I have a little bit of the end of the twine just kind of hanging there. And then when you turn this page, there should be, if I remember correctly, all of this is made with watercolor paper. And there should be 4 places, if I remember correctly, where the person can actually go in and paint what they want. That I've actually left 4 little places. I started to try to paint some little pictures on here, but you know, that's kind of the beauty of having your own book, is to be able to paint your own stuff and add your style to it. And there are other pages in here that are gessoed and can be gessoed over and then painted on. Because like I say, this is all watercolor paper, so it'll handle it. But as far as just actually having blank space for doing your own thing, I think there's 4 areas like this. Just small areas. I personally like a book to be full of personality and whatnot, so I did kind of fill this up, but I tried to leave just a few places in case someone wants to incorporate something of their self into the book. This is kind of a little flip over like that, and then this is a tuck spot, and I have just some old postcards, envelope, from 1982. The postcard is 1915, I believe that says. And then a page out of a road map. And I just kind of, on this, there's this is actually attached to the paper. And then there is a charm right there of a bird with a bird nest. I've used this in a lot of my books. I have a lot of these and I love them. It has little pearl eggs. Can you see the bird? And little pearl eggs in there. And then this is a wooden nickel. I've attached throughout the book, poking out on the side, these little wooden, 2 of them's wooden nickels. I think this is some type of little wooden token that's an advertisement. I can't remember. We'll try to look at that when I get to it. Put this back. Okay, and then when you flip that page, this is just a collaged page, and you can write here on this, or like I said earlier, you can gesso over it and paint a picture, just gesso a little spot and paint a picture, or attach photographs in there. And there's the other little wooden tab here on this page. And the back side of it's also collaged. Here's the other side of that doily. And then here's another area that you can paint on. I have a wooden paintbrush, actually. You know, I put this on there. Let me find a pencil. I put that on there in case someone wants to keep a pencil or pen, you know, on there. It's just a little slot that you can slide through. But when I got to thinking about myself, if this is truly, I can't get it in there on camera. Plus, I've lost my fingernails and I'm used to having them. It's just a little opening there that you can slide a pencil into. But, you know, when I got to thinking about this for myself, with this being little pages that you can paint on, I personally would rather have a paintbrush in there. I had stitched across the bottom here so that a pencil wouldn't slide out. But I think I'm going to undo those stitches, and I'm going to put a paintbrush in here for whoever gets this, or a pencil. I mean, it doesn't matter, but I personally would rather have a paintbrush there, and I actually put a paintbrush in here kind of just as I worked on it, because I find that things like that inspire me a little bit. Weird, I know, but that's what my process is. Anyway, I think I'm going to incorporate a little paintbrush into that. But this is an area here you can paint on, write on, put a picture, whatever makes you happy. And then the back side outside of it is just the different fabrics, just for some decoration. This is a gasket, I believe is what it's called. It's like a thick, I guess, cardboard or cardstock. I don't know what gaskets actually are. I know that my husband said he thought this was an old gasket. I don't know. It's something cool. So I wrapped it around this paper. I'll show you the back side of it in a moment. And then this page is just collaged there. And I just attached the twine in these little holes. I started to go through and put brads in them, but I like the look of the twine poking out. And I don't know, I like that look better. A person can go in and attach some brads through there if they choose to. And there's just gesso all over the paper. There's a little piece of material. I'm not sure if you can see that very well on camera. Oh, and then coming down the side here, I reinforced this. My friend Dee had some of the ticking, and she went down and did some decorative stitching. And I am just so loving that. I've been using it, and I didn't want to use it. I wanted to hoard it. But anyway, I put some down here. I'm trying to, and then you can see the material that's on the inside of the spine of the book. You can see that material there kind of poking through. You'll be able to see it in just a moment a little bit better, and the colors actually blend with one of the signature areas. And then here on the center of this one, I just attached, I love this material here, so I just attached it coming down the center. A little bit of journaling space here that is gessoed over. You can paint a little picture there if you choose, or stamp or whatever. Here's another one of the wooden, I think this is a wooden nickel. And then the page, just again, it's gessoed, stained, just all kind of different layering on that. Let me look at the back. Yeah, see, this is a wooden nickel. Let me see if I can get over here to it. This is out of an old book, and I guess a little child went through, it says age 5 right there. And you'll see why I've sewn it inside of a protective film, and you'll see why in just a minute. I have a leaf on the other side. This is some lace trim here. And then, of course, it says figure 5, all kind of numbers. It looks like that says Angie, and then age 5. And then there is a leaf there. And that's the other side of that gasket or whatever it is. And this is a poem. It doesn't have to be this way. She cried into the night. The clouds, they covered every star and hindered her delight. A simple reminder from nature could certainly slay off her grief. A cry to God as fell a tear, so fell a single leaf. I just like that because I've always believed that God sends us little signs in nature that help us to smile or bring, bring a little bit of a reminder to us. Just little things in nature I think He provides for us just to help cheer us up sometimes. Just great gifts. This is where I was saying that you can see some of the material in between the signature, and I thought that the colors went really well with this spread right here. Again, this is some of the layered material coming down this, a piece of like crocheted embellishment with a button, and then this trim here is like embroidered trim. The other side of this is one of the areas I said that you can actually paint or draw on or sketch. It's, of course, again, watercolor paper. Now this is I guess you would call it I think it's almost the size of a placemat actually, and it's like I guess it's lace. I want to say eyelet, but I guess it's technically lace. But I attached some different fabric to it, did a little sloppy stitching right there, some string on it. A little tab here with some of these pretty little stitches on it, and a button. And then when you flip that, here's just the back side of it. I did a little bit of stitching myself on it, well, with my machine. As I stitch this stuff on, I try to do some decorative stitching. And I wanted it to be, I didn't want it to be a real contrasting thread, so I did kind of an earthy tone in that. I didn't want it to stand out much. And then, again, you can write here or attach photos. The bottom of this page has some crochet on it, kind of hanging off the edge. And then on this, there is a pocket. Let me hold that up so you can see. Do you call that embroidery, I guess, with the lace embroidery. And some little stitching there. This is where that crochet is on the bottom of this page here. And then inside the pockets are just some book pages, an old ticket, little note paper, just different little things, kind of more to demonstrate what you can do. And of course, this on the background is completely collaged. Again, all different kind of stains and ink. Not Mod Podge, gesso all over that. Here's the back side of that and the other side of that. And here there's just different materials. I don't know if you can see that. It's like a navy blue with stars. It's real pretty to me. And then here's one other area where you can paint a little picture or write or attach a photo. The back of it here is, this is the back of the book. There is a doily here. See if you can see that design on it. I think that is so pretty. And then the material, I just kind of pinned it up here with one of my rusty safety pins. That one actually came from Dee. And then the back part of the book has, this is textured paper. It's almost got like a felt or a, the feel is just, I love this paper. Again, I've been hoarding this for quite a while. I bought it off of Etsy. I'm pretty sure they said it was handmade. Anyway, it's just got a really cool touch to it. Texture to it. Put lace across the bottom and made a little pocket. Again, I just put something in here to kind of display what can be done with the pocket. And then that's the back of the book. Did I give measurements? I don't think I did. Yikes. Here's my ruler. Sorry, I do have my ruler. I knew I brought it in here. So this is hard to measure. The actual hardcover itself is probably around 7 inches. Can you see? 7 inches, maybe-ish. But when you have all this stuff poking out, it's somewhere around 9 inches. Something like that. Somewhere around 9. The height of it is, the actual book itself is somewhere around 8.5. But once you add in all this stuff poking out, it's somewhere around 10.5, maybe even 11. But that's all fabric. This would not be, in my opinion, a good book for like sliding on a bookcase because it has depth to it. There's these layers. It would be hard to slide it in between books because of that. To me, I think of this as something more as going on a coffee table or a table. I think of it more as table art. And, oh, the thickness of it. Again, it's hard to measure that, but it's probably somewhere around 2.5, I don't know, maybe 2 2/3. Excuse me. the spine itself is kind of rounded, so it's, again, hard to measure that, but maybe 2 inches. But it's kind of rounded, hard to measure. Anyway, this is just what I enjoy doing. This is going into my Etsy. It should be in there before I post this video. If you have any questions or anything at all, please let me know. You can comment below. If you like the video, please hit like, and I really would appreciate that. And again, any comments, I would love to hear from you. And I hope everyone's doing good. Y'all have a blessed day.